We could ask, why is it the case that low-income households gamble more, for example, in public lotteries, whereas high-income households instead buy insurance? So we're going to take a look at utility functions, how they differ across households, and maybe differ for a particular household over time as well. Okay, but as you already know, you are risk averse. If your marginal utility of income is decreasing as your income rises, in other words, you lose more utility from $1,000 loss than you can gain in utility from $1,000 windfall. And so you might pay for insurance to avoid the possibility of an uncomfortable loss. And you remember this from last time, that this shows that the total utility that you could be losing from the loss is greater than the utility that you could gain, even though the income change is the same in either case. So this is the utility lost if your income decreases by $1,000, and here in green is the utility that you could gain if you increase your income by $1,000. Clearly, the loss in utility more than offsets the potential gain. So here's an example. Suppose that you have wealth or income of $100,000, and that in the coming year there is a 1/4 chance that your car will be stolen. Your car costs $20,000. So the expected cost of the gamble that you are taking by leaving your car on the street is 1/4 of $20,000 or $5,000. And then we will assume that your utility of wealth is equal to the natural log of wealth. So you already have pointed out that this utility function shows risk aversion. And you are correct. Okay, so now we are in a position to talk about insurance. But by the way, do you have insurance on your automobile?
I don't have.
I'm not sure whether it is still mandatory in Pakistan, but there are good reasons that people don't buy auto insurance for liability of accidents unless they're required by law.
Hello, sir. I think in Kazakhstan the insurance is compulsory to drive in Kazakhstan.
Yes. So an interesting question to ask is this: if people are truly risk averse, why does the government have to mandate the purchase of insurance? but when people buy auto insurance on their own. So we will come back to that question in a couple of minutes. Thanks for your observation. It is very good. Okay, so either you buy insurance against the auto theft or you do not. If you don't buy insurance, then we are taking the gamble of losing the car. The expected cost of the gamble reflects the utility that you may be losing if the car is stolen. So there is a 75% chance that in the coming year, you will still have your car, it will not be stolen. And 1/4 of a chance that the car is stolen, and therefore your wealth will fall by $20,000, the value of the car. So there is expected utility over the years to come if you do not buy insurance. Okay, now suppose that you do buy insurance, then if your car is stolen, the insurer will buy a replacement car for you. So with insurance, you are not taking a gamble. Instead, your wealth is maintained as a constant over time. So, for example, if you pay $5,000 for your premium insurance, then your income over the year will be $95,000 always. For example, if your car is not stolen, then your income is 100,000 minus 5,000. And if your car is stolen, no problem, the insurer will cover the loss so that once again, your income is $95,000. The insurer, in short, will assume the risk of auto theft. Okay, we will say that your insurance is fair if the premium that you pay just reflects the expected cost of the auto theft. We've already seen that there is a 25% chance that the car will be stolen. The car is worth $50,000. So the expected disutility of the gamble is $5,000. If your premium just covers that expected cost incurred by the insurer, we will say that your insurance is fair. Okay, so far. So there are the two possible outcomes. If you buy insurance, then your income is stabilized at $95,000 over the year. Whether or not your car is stolen. So there's the summary of our discussion so far. In the case where you have insurance, and there is of the expected utility to you of buying insurance, a certain income of $95,000. Okay, so if you're risk averse, then you will gain by purchasing insurance because you want to have the security of a $95,000 income that does not change. But the interesting question is, how much would you be willing to pay for insurance? We saw that fair insurance would cost you $5,000, but met the times then you are willing to pay even more than $5,000. The insurer hopes that this is the case because if the insurer is collecting only fair insurance, he is not able to profit. The premium just covers over the long run the expected cost of the other thefts that he has to assume the burden for. Okay, so in general, you would be willing to pay more than fair insurance and more as long as your utility from that additional insurance is still as high as what you would have expected had you had no insurance. So K is the amount that the insurer can profit from by charging you a surplus premium. What's this so far? Okay, these numbers on the right-hand side are just natural logs of the wealth. So to talk to you are buying insurance. And this time, people to know the total amount that you paid for insurance as K. So K includes the fair premium and the profit on top of that that the insurer can make. We have a natural log function, so we want to know what amount of K the sold over in time in the year to come that you would do no better with the insurance than without it. That's the basic idea. This number 11.5 is the utility that you would receive as an expectation if you did not buy insurance. Okay, so easy enough to solve. Let's exponentiate the natural log, then solve the K, and it turns out that you are willing to pay as much as $5,400 for insurance. So remember that the expected cost to the insurer of assuming your potential debt was $5,000. So what is the insurer's profit in this case?
$426.
The $426 is good, which is, I think, a pretty fair profit, somewhere around 8% of the expected cost of the insurance. An 8% profit rate is nothing to sneeze at. Let's take a look at a graph of the problem, and maybe this will make the reasoning behind the insurance more visible. We have a utility function that is leveling off. So marginal utility, which is the slope of total utility, is diminishing. So is this utility function risk averse, risk loving, or risk neutral?
Risk averse.
Yeah, good. This averse, good, yes. Okay, so you have an income before insurance of $100,000. So that is your utility, if you don't have to worry about the car. But you do have to worry about theft, and so you're considering whether or not to buy insurance. If you buy only fair insurance, then you are paying $5,000 in premiums. So in this case, your certain income will fall from $100,000 down to $95,000. Good. Now, this income is certain. It will not rise or fall in the years to come. So you can be certain of receiving the total utility represented by this point right here. If you instead taken a gamble, that is, had you not purchased insurance, then your expected utility is shown for this point right here. At the end of the green line. So this point is representing a 35% chance of an oval theft, which would lower you to $80,000, and a 75% chance of no theft, so that you would still have an income of $100,000. This line is representing all possible combinations of a particular probability of theft. This point represents a probability of theft of 35%. Had it been 50%, they would be further along on the court. Okay, so far. Okay, so here's your utility with the insurance, and here is your utility, expected utility, without any insurance. So the maximum amount that you're willing to pay for insurance is that amount that will lower the utility until you're no better off with the insurance than without it. That point occurs right here. So here we have certain utility of $94,600. And it is equal to the expected utility of not buying insurance at all. So there is the argument for paying an excess premium when you are risk averse, but no more than about $5,400. Okay, so far. So there is an extra credit problem that you can try by December 2. That they postponed the deadline by 1 week. I will give you a moment to read through the problem, and then we can talk about it. So in this case, you are thinking about purchasing insurance against the possibility of illness that will prevent you from working. And I'm asking you to calculate the cost of fair insurance in this case. And then for an additional 5 points, estimate the maximum that you would be willing to pay for the insurance. Just like the $400 excess premium in the case of the Opal theft. So here is a puzzle for you. What would the total utility function look like for somebody who is risk averse? And as you already know, that function will level off as income increases. So in this case, the second derivative of the utility function is negative. And then there is another way of thinking about purchasing insurance on a minor scale, a smaller scale than we had looked at before. Okay, so here is a puzzle for you to try at home. Use this graph to determine the maximum amount that this person would be willing to pay for insurance. So, by the way, these puzzle slides are in the PowerPoint presentation called Information and Uncertainty. You can download it from the middle page. Bye-bye. So, in short, we have seen that a risk-averse person would buy insurance because his monthly utility is diminishing with additional income. The dental is not worth it for him. So let's look at the case where gambling does pay off for you because of the different utility function that you have. Would you expect a gambler to have risk-loving utility, risk-averse, or risk-neutral? And what would the utility function look like? But let's see, here is total utility, that is, marginal utility is rising. It is the slope of the total utility function. That would define risk-loving utility because the second derivative of the utility function is positive in this case. So here is risk-loving utility. This income is increasing. And notice that in this case, expected utility of a particular income is higher than definite utility. If Iqbal his income Y, then he is guaranteed that income, then his utility is right at the point right here. Now, if instead he takes a gamble that would deliver the same expected income, he would actually find more satisfaction in taking that chance than he would if he were to buy insurance that will stabilize his income. So the economists suggest that people gamble because the gain and utility of the gamble exceeds the loss that could occur for a fair gamble. In this case, the risk lover is willing to pay as much as $F from here to over here in order to take a fair gamble. Not to buy insurance, but instead to buy a gamble. Notice that at this point, expected utility has dropped to the point where it is equal to the certain or total utility that IPO would have had you not taken the gamble. So F represents how much we may be willing to pay For example, for a lottery ticket. In the real world, this is a starlight stat, which means that it may be approximately true. We observe that low-income households gamble and high-income households instead provide insurance. Here is a puzzle for you. How could we explain that behavior in terms of utility function? For example, this may apply to your son, that when he is poor, he gambles, and when later on he becomes rich, he will buy insurance. Any ideas at this point? Well, consider this utility function, which is based on the work by Milton Friedman and the mathematician Leonard Savage. Here, when income is low, marginal utility is rising. And then, when we have high income, marginal utility now begins to diminish. So we have risk-loving utility when we are poor, and we have risk-averse utility when we are rich in this case. It's a rather complicated utility function for one household over time. Here is a question for you. Supposing that people have this treatment service utility function, what do you think that this might apply in part to the economic growth of poor nations and the rich ones? Just a question to speculate on. So, what do you think? Is there reason to believe that poor nations may grow more rapidly economically than rich ones? Because if that is the case, there is a possibility that incomes will converge across countries. That the average Tajikistani may become as rich as the average American. But here is the answer from the economist Joseph Schumpeter. Schumpeter basically suggests that poor nations were taking risks, and therefore they are more willing to take entrepreneurial gambles than is a rich nation like the United States. So their economies will grow more rapidly than Western ones. What do you think may be the case then for the high-income country?
Well, you said that high-income countries, well, on the Trumpeters. Well, they will be risk averse.
Exactly, yeah.
The economy would grow, but less rapidly than the poorer nations.
Yep, exactly. Peter would agree with you. But his explanation is that in a country like, let's say, England, people don't want to risk losing their material comfort. He does not explain this reluctance to gamble in terms of the utility function. He just says explicitly that people become too comfortable to take chances when they are rich. So they buy insurance against entrepreneurial downfalls, and they insure through the government, for example, with unemployment compensation. And therefore, their economies would stagnate. They're not taking chances. They're not investing in real capital. Schumpeter concludes that capitalism will die out and socialism will survive. Exactly the opposite of what we had witnessed in the Soviet Union in the 1990s. And there is his book that's very interesting. Do you agree with Schumpeter that capitalism is an endangered species, but socialism is sure to endure? I guess that we will see this argument seemed more impressive during the financial crisis of 2008, when indeed capitalism seemed to be on the ropes, on the point of extinction. Okay, so here are our main points. If the second derivative of the utility function is negative, we have risk-averse behavior. No problem there. On the other hand, if the second derivative of the total utility function is positive, we have risk-loving behavior. And then finally, the remaining possibility is a second derivative that is zero for the risk neutral. Notice that the risk neutral may be reluctant to buy insurance. So, what does that utility function look like? Is it concave, convex, or linear? And of course, as you know, a disk-utility function is a line with a constant slope. So let's take a look at the one for the risk neutral person. Okay, so there is risk neutrality. The slope is a constant. Therefore, marginal utility is also constant. Good. Now we can ask a question about insurance in Kazakhstan. Suppose that people are risk neutral in Kazakhstan. Then are they willing to buy auto insurance that is profitable for the insurers? What do you think?
No, they wouldn't.
And why not?
Because well, because you said in a previous slide that risk neutrals are they're not willing to buy the insurance.
But why not? That's what I said, but I might be wrong. Why are they not willing to buy auto insurance that is profitable for the insurers?
You know, maybe they wouldn't see a profit for themselves.
Say again, I'm sorry. I did not quite hear you.
Maybe because they see that it's profitable for insurance companies, but not for them.
Okay, good, yeah, exactly. So in this case, the profitable insurance exceeds in premiums their insurance. So, for example, in our scenario of auto theft, you said that their insurance would involve premiums of $5,000. At that point, the insurer is just breaking even. So people charge instead not $5,000, but $5,400 for premiums. The risk-averse person was willing to pay that additional amount. The risk-neutral person is willing to pay looking to buy undeserved insurance, $5,000, not $55,400. That is too much. No, if that is the case for Kazakhstan is contemplating awful insurance, then if they are risk neutral, insurers in Kazakhstan cannot profit. So the government might require awful insurance because the risk neutral, or for that matter, the risk loving will not buy it on their own. So it's interesting to speculate about whether young people, teenagers, are more likely to be risk loving or risk neutral than adults. Might be due to a utility function that looks like this. Risk loving behavior for teenagers because they have low income, and risk averse behavior when they become richer. So that is strictly a matter to speculate about.